Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Khan again. Sorry for the technical difficulty. We're doing the best we can. For some reason, there is resonance. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring Michelle on. All right, Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is good once again. Now, I do not know what happened, but we'll go ahead and get started. So, sorry, you were saying, so I wanted to ask you, how did you hear about BII for the first time ever? Like, how did you run into that? And you had mentioned that, please go ahead and answer.
So luckily for me, I never really heard of it. Maybe like a couple people like in the past like 10 years maybe, and I like thought they were crazy, which probably people think. And then when I started being a part of social media and actually, I work for social media, I try to find women like me all the time through hashtags, through places I hang out, through beliefs of mine, and I've met a lot of people who have posted about it, like that I've gone to connect with, and I'm like, what the heck? So I started doing research, I started looking into it myself, and then I started asking these women questions. I'm a very aggressive. The only way you're going to figure something out is to ask questions. So why did you do this? How were you feeling? Who did you go to? And more than one person said your name. So once I got into your group, um, I just made the decision, like I saw you and your passion for it as well. And then what the women say, and you were in Novi, which is a very nice area in Michigan. So I again, it was just something like it was on my radar, and it was on my radar a lot. So I was seeing a lot of posting about it and seeing a lot of content because I was following BII, and then I was following a lot of girls. And like I said, I've met people, and then I started talking about it, and people would say, like, you should get those out, you should get them removed. And
Right,
it's like,
right.
okay, why didn't people like, so this is like a thing. So it, it, it comes down to, again, like, if there's all this proof and all this evidence, like, why wouldn't I? Because I'm a,
Right, right,
like, I mean, that's just silly. It's
right.
quality.
Now, what is it that you're going to say to the FDA if they're listening? And they say, a young person like you who's gone through the breast implant illness and the recovery phase, if the FDA is listening to you right now, because tonight, today I did not operate. I had the day off. And that's why I have you on as Facebook Live. I knew I was not going to run over as surgeries wise. I'm going to write a letter to the FDA telling my experience as a board certified plastic surgeon as to what my impression is of breast implants and where they stand and what we need to do from a plastic surgeon's perspective. What would you want to, as a patient, what do you want to tell them? What is it that they should hear from you? In
The
nice words.
FDA, yeah, the FDA also puts things in our foods that cause cancer. I mean, that's a really hard thing to do, but I have to say to them is, you need to open your eyes to the fact that there are hundreds and thousands of women who are not just crazy, who are literally not just going and spending $8,000 to get boobs put in, and then they're so severely ill instantly that they're paying $8,000 to get them taken out. It's not a hobby. It's something that needs to be a concern and an awareness, and they need to have rules and regulations put in place. But then again, you guys, we need to learn that we need to do our own research, because the FDA also does a lot of things that are not in our best interest. That's the nicest thing I can say.
You said it very well, because they need to listen to the patients, not
It's
to
like,
the manufacturers.
Con, I didn't listen to you going into your consultation. I had my decision made from the people who had gone to you. I had my information from the people who have gone through this by experience. So I get what you're saying. They need to listen to the patients, just like people in your group need to listen and worry more about the people who have gone through the experience, because that should inspire them and show them, okay.
Right. It's not fair for the patients to rely on the FDA and the FDA is being politically correct in order to keep everyone happy. This is not how it works. The FDA's interest should be only the patients and no one but the patients. And they should not be listening to the manufacturers who are basically determining what's going to happen, or to the plastic surgeons. You need to listen directly to the patients because they're the ones who are hurting, and not hurting, just like you said, in 1, 2, 10. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of them, because eventually everyone will feel the hurt when they have the silent rupture. Look, just today I did a video. Look at the mentor advertisement that I posted like a couple of weeks ago. It says on fine print, the implications behind a silent rupture are not truly well defined. How can you have implants in a patient, in a human body, and not know what the implications behind the rupture are? And they're clearly highlighting this, number one. And number two, they mention in their own advertisement that they're safe, but deep down within the fine print, they write, in order to, recommendations are that the patients who get silicone implants should get a MRI at year 3, and then every 2 years they're onward for the length of time that the patients have their silicone implants. And this is very alarming, because how many times will an insurance approve this? Never. And how many times will the patients even carry through and get this unless there is a problem? And eventually all implants will rupture. They're not meant to be in the body forever. Just look at the FDA warning. And sometimes, as you have seen just 2 weeks ago, I did a case where the patient had a rupture after 4 years, just 4 years. Now, let's go ahead and request our guest to see if you have any questions for Michelle or I, so that we can basically learn from Michelle's experience.
Oh, good.
So the most important thing here is, this is a awareness that we need to discuss in a very healthy discussion, just like we're doing. We need to alert and alarm the primary care doctors, the rheumatologists, the endocrinologists, the primary care physicians, the emergency room doctors, that this exists, along with the plastic surgeons. They themselves need to be talking and actively discussing this.
And so own research. That's
Yeah.
what's that's happen, because those people wouldn't have jobs. Just like pharmaceutical sale. I mean, like there's this, it just like spirals into this huge thing. They wouldn't have jobs. So like, you just have to do your own research, and you need to go out there and talk to people in the group. And I guarantee you, you'll have a conversation with someone who says, there'll be a connection, and it'll say, me too. And then that's going to change your life. So use the group, not for going in and just looking. Use the group to ask questions, to connect with them, to realize, all right, that's what I need. Because when I talked to a gal who was similar to me, who worked out, who had the same kind of things as I had going on, that connection right there is what was like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm done. There was no going back. There was no wishy-washy, iffy, like, I'm making this decision. It's never going to get easier. It's never going to be the right time and fall in my lap. So just do it, because I'm only getting older day by day by day. So
Right,
that's
right. No, another thing, yeah.
I want to get me in earlier. Remember, I was going to Mexico, and I'm like, spot for me next week. You're like, well, I'm booked, but I'll make a spot for you. I'm like, well, I'm going to Mexico, and you're like, well, you can't go in the water. I'm like, never mind. But I was like, get him out.
Right. Now, the other thing I want to mention here is, which you have said like 4 or 5 times, you talked to the other patients. Don't listen to the star rating. Don't look at the marble that is in the office. Don't look at the real self, I will say, rating that the doctor has. Go by what the plastic, not by number one, what the plastic surgeon is saying, and number two, what the patients are saying, because that's the most important thing. You may have a top-notch plastic surgeon at the most reputable of the organizations, but if he doesn't believe in breast implant illness, you're not going to get the surgery that you very well much need. All right, I'm going to let you. This is a very nice question. How do you change the bias of docs about women's issues?
You can't change their, you can't, like, you just can't. You can only educate yourself. Like we just said, like, I get what you're saying, but like, I went to 6 plastic surgeons and everything they said, I was like, I took it all with a grain of salt because I want to go to people who've been through this experience. You guys can go to hashtags. You can go to breast implant illness. You can find, search, go to Dr. Khan's group, go in the members and talk to each other. It's what it's for. Go comment on people's posts who you see had surgery last week and ask them about it, because that's how I've met so many friends in the group. And now we're even like, they're drinking more water and they're reading personal development and they're like feeling better all around. Because if you're going to do this, why wouldn't you want to feel amazing? Like you're going to feel like amazing, like younger, your skin, like everything can be better for you. So just get your answers that it is, networking. It's networking, and they're not trying, it's not like the person I'm talking to is trying to like make me pay them. So it's not like, and I take what they say and I just put it into my head, and then I keep talking to people, and then I put it into my head, and then I see someone who pops up and I'm like, this girl had a surgery, and like, if she can do it, I can do it. It's 6 weeks, guys. Like, it's 6 weeks. You walk, you drink, like, just do it for 6 weeks, and before you know it, it's going to be over. Like 6 weeks versus a lifetime. So the surgery was cakewalk.
Right. Now, the other thing you mentioned is, very important. It's a movement by the women for the women. There's no other one benefiting except for the women. And this is very important, where you want to enhance your experience, not because that person has a vested interest, and you want to go see someone who believes in breast implantillness. That's very important. You don't want to go say someone, hey, I don't believe in BII, but I'll do whatever you ask me to do because I want to earn your business. You want to go ahead and go to someone who understands this, who does the whole lab analysis, which is the microbiology analysis, the cytology analysis, if there's any abnormal fluid, who does that commitment, thinking that every implant is ruptured till proven otherwise, because you don't want to be finding out in the OR while you're dissecting. And you have to have that mindset that BII exists, and the whole post-operative recovery is dependent on the surgeon believing that all capsule plus all inflamed tissue must be definitely removed. And that is the essence of what is explant surgery.
I think that's all the questions. So if they want to comment below, I can answer them when I see the notifications.
Yeah, again, the continue networking and researching what you have said. Listen and talk to the old patients, because that's where all the answers are. Go to
so many. Yeah, I know. And I'll post stuff in the group when I find people and stuff, and I'll be like, you guys, like, listen to this experience, because it's just helpful to be able to have a circle of a community of women and that are going through this together. Because I was 19, so I just did what other people did, and now I make decisions for myself. So I think things through and look at the side effects and all of that stuff. So if you need anything or you have any questions, please reach out, and then drop them below, and I will come back in and I can answer them. But I think we did good. I think it went good.
No, this is very nice, very positive, and I will tell you, a lot of patients are already talking about you from right around your surgery as well. And it's bringing awareness so that each and every single patient can understand what are the detrimental effects of breast implants and what is the optimal way of removing them. Well, thanks, Michelle. It was a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for sharing your experience. God bless you. And bye-bye to all my listeners and viewers. Please share and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.